It seems like every mattress company these days claims to be America's #1 mattress. But when you peel back the layers, and yes, pun intended, how many of them actually live up to the hype? Today, we're gonna be putting the Happsy Organic mattress to the test. No sponsorships, no fluff, just a real honest look at how this mattress performs in the categories that actually matter. To cut through the noise, we're going to be reviewing this mattress across 5 distinct categories, with those categories being motion isolation, temperature regulation, edge support, comfort, and finally, value and durability of the bed. Each category will be rated on a scale out of 10, so that way you know what's good, what's bad, and what's ugly about this mattress. Let's dive in. And today we're going to be starting with motion isolation. If you sleep with a partner or a restless pet, motion isolation can be the difference between a good night's sleep and feeling like you're riding a roller coaster at 2 in the morning. And last I checked, your mattress shouldn't feel like a roller coaster. So how does the Happsy perform? In order to understand that, we need to understand the construction of this bed. The Happsy is using individually pocketed coils, which is pretty dang standard these days. I can't remember the last time I saw a mattress that had coils that were not individually pocketed, and that's for good reason. Individually pocketed coils generally do a significantly better job at motion isolation compared to more traditional mattresses. So if your bed is 10 years or older, pretty much any mattress is going to do significantly better at motion isolation than what you have at home. Now, just above that layer of individually pocketed coils with the Happsy, you're gonna find a layer of organic latex. Latex is a material that is known for being a little bit more bouncy, and that translates here to motion isolation as well. This is par for the course, which means when your partner or your pet tosses or turns in the night, you might feel it just a little bit. Now, it's not gonna be like an earthquake or anything like that. In fact, it's not really gonna be that noticeable at all, but it is there. And the reason for that is the latex in this mattress. Latex, as opposed to memory foam, is what we call a positive resistance foam. And what that means is when you push down on it, it pushes back. This is in opposition to something like a memory foam mattress. If you're out on the market looking at one of those, that foam is a negative resistance foam. And what that means is it compresses until it's reached its state of equilibrium, which is why memory foam mattresses are the best in terms of motion isolation. But that doesn't mean that natural mattresses are completely out of the fight. This bed, for the majority of people, is going to do just fine in terms of motion isolation. Now, the caveat being, if you yourself are a more sensitive sleeper and you're consistently waking up because your partner is tossing and turning and trying to fight their mattress in the morning, then this might not be the pick for you. But in our testing, we found that the Happsy performed at a 7.5 out of 10 in terms of motion isolation, which we would say is pretty adequate for the majority of people. Next up is temperature regulation. No one wants to wake up in the middle of the night feeling like they've been in a sauna. There's just nothing pleasant about waking up in your mattress being hot and sweaty and needing to toss the covers off or toss them back on. Temperature regulation actually is the #1 disturber of sleep on most sleep studies. In fact, 62% of people report that they struggle with sleeping hot in their mattress. So how does the Happsy fare in terms of temperature regulation? The Happsy does pretty dang good, and that is in big part to the individually pocketed coils as well as the latex. Remember how we talked about latex being a positive resistance foam and memory foam being a negative resistance foam? Well, not only does that impact motion isolation, but it has a significant impact on temperature regulation as well. Positive resistance foams, because they push back, because they are open cell, they stay open as you sleep on them, as opposed to a negative resistance foam, which compresses. Memory foam often traps heat pretty dang bad. Latex, because it's open cell and because it's positive resistance, does a very good job at allowing a mattress to breathe throughout the night. Now, above that layer of latex, the Happsy has a layer of organic wool. And bear with me, most people assume that wool is a material meant to keep people warm and trap heat in. And that is true in certain circumstances. However, that is when you are clumping up like major amounts of it, thinking to like a coat or something. When you have it as a small layer in a mattress that works as one, a fire retardant barrier, so no chemicals in terms of the fire suppression of this bed, don't need it, it's all natural, that's a plus. But two, it actually facilitates a quicker transfer of heat from your body into the deeper layers of this mattress, which is designed to carry that heat away. So most of the times when you see wool in a mattress, you can rest easy knowing that it's actually gonna do a really good job in terms of temperature regulation, and the story is no different here. At the very top of this bed, you do have an organic cotton cover, and the way that they've weaved it makes it decently cool to the touch. It's definitely nothing like a Glaciotex or anything like that, but most of those cool to the touch covers are pretty much gimmicks anyway, and I'll tell you why. It's a game of density. You can test this right now. Go ahead, put your hand on a wall, put your hand on a desk. Does it feel cooler to you? Yeah, it does. The reason is because it's more dense, but pretty quickly you'll notice that the temperature equalizes, and that's the same case with any kind of cool to the touch cover. The important thing with a mattress is how well does it regulate your temperature, not how well does it cool you down. Now, if you are someone who's looking for a mattress that's going to cool you down, this isn't it. All natural mattresses aren't gonna be it, but a mattress that's not gonna wake you up in the middle of the night because you're burning to a crisp, yeah, this one's gonna do a pretty dang good job. And in our testing, we found that it performs at a 9 out of 10. Next up is edge support. I know it might sound boring, but trust me, it matters. If you've ever sat on the edge of a mattress to put your socks on and felt like you were about to slide off into the abyss, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it actually goes much deeper than that. You see, if a mattress has poor edge support, what happens is you have to sleep further away from the edge. And what that means is the sleep surface of the mattress that you're on is actually shrinking. In some extreme cases, we found that a queen has only had an effective sleep area of about a full, which is a huge difference, especially if you're in this mattress with a partner, because not only are you losing the sleep surface of your bed, but as you scoot closer, yeah, you're gonna feel your partner move more. So goodbye motion isolation. You're gonna feel your partner's heat build up because the mattress needs you to be so far apart. You're basically going to be wearing out that mattress a lot faster, which means you guys might be sleeping in a cave sooner than you ever thought you would be. Not a real cave, but like the mattress is caving. So how does the Happsy perform? It's not the greatest. It's just not. The individually pocketed coils in this mattress are just not sufficiently strong enough for me to feel satisfied with the edge support that I'm getting in this bed. It's not so bad when I'm laying down on the bed, but where it really starts to cave under the pressure is when you're sitting on the side. And yeah, I know that one was not intentional. That one was not. But anyway, sitting on the side of this mattress, I was already halfway down, and I'm pretty much a mid-sized dude. I weigh 170 pounds, I'm 5'10", and this mattress, the edge support, like I said, was not sufficient. And that's a problem not only when you first get the mattress, but it's one I suspect will get worse over time as well. Now, if you and your partner are getting a king-size bed, or if you sleep in the mattress alone or even with a pet, not really a category that matters too much, but for couples who are looking at getting a queen size mattress, this one might be a deal breaker, because in order to get an adequate amount of support around the edge, you're gonna have to scoot in about 3 inches. Now, that's doubled because each partner has to do it, meaning you guys are gonna be 6 inches closer than you would be if the edge support was rock solid. Well, more like 4, because pretty much nobody sleeps right on the edge. But even so, it's definitely worth making a note of. Now, it's not the worst that we've seen here on the channel up to this point, and it's definitely not gonna be the worst that we see going forward either, but it's definitely something to be mindful of, particularly for anyone over 220 pounds. Even those over 170 pounds are going to find that they're not wholly satisfied with how the Happsy performs in terms of edge support. And because of that, we give it a 6 out of 10. And that brings us to comfort, which is the most important category, because the reason you're even looking at a mattress is probably not because your bed has bad edge support or because you're sleeping a bit hot. It's most likely because your bed just is not comfortable at all. And why the heck would you spend all this kind of money to get something that's not comfortable? So yeah, it's really important. I don't even think I really need to intro why it's important. Everyone gets it. But anyway, in terms of comfort, as far as natural mattresses go, especially at this price point, the Happsy performs really well. This is the most comfortable all natural mattress that I have seen under $1,500. And that's a pretty big accomplishment. Now, there are other options like the Birch Natural Luxe, which are definitely more comfortable than this, but they're also notably more expensive as well. Now, Happsy says that this is a medium firm in terms of firmness overall, and they've pretty much nailed it. That's exactly what this bed feels like. It's going to do pretty dang well for small to mid-size side and back sleepers. Now, if you are a larger sleeper, you're going to find the Happsy to be pretty dang lacking in terms of comfort, and that all comes down to the coil that they're using in this mattress. You see, coils come in different gauges, meaning thicknesses, and different tensions based often on that gauge itself, or how many turns they have in the individual coil unit themselves. The Happsy coils are a softer coil that are just not super strong and don't have a ton of pushback. And because of that, larger sleepers are going to feel like they are bottoming out on this bed, because they're going to bottom out on this bed. I know, because if I let myself fall from standing into the mattress, I can feel my butt hit the support structure underneath the mattress. And that's not a great sign for most larger sleepers. You might be wondering, is that a great sign really at all? There is a bit of nuance to it. You see, if the coils were a lot higher tension, the mattress overall would feel quite a bit more firm. The coils are doing quite a bit of the pressure relieving work in this mattress, and I found that to be really comfortable for someone my size or smaller. It's just anyone over 220 pounds is probably gonna find that they're hammocking in this mattress, and they're gonna find that they're sleeping in this mattress as if it were a banana, and that's not a good thing because your back does not want to sleep like this. The only other thing to talk about is how is this mattress for stomach sleepers? Smaller stomach sleepers can get away with it, for sure. They'll be fine. Mid-sized stomach sleepers, again, that softer coil is going to start to really irritate your back. And the reason being is stomach sleepers are the most susceptible to improper spinal alignment. Think about it. You can test it standing up, actually. If you stand and move your hips to the side, where do you feel pressure? Not really anywhere. If you move your hips back, where do you feel significant pressure? Not really anywhere. If you move your hips forward, you'll notice immediately there is a lot of pressure on your lower back. And that's what happens when a mattress is too soft for a stomach sleeper, except it doesn't happen for just a moment. It happens for 8 hours or more every single night. And because of that, we don't recommend this mattress for mid-sized stomach sleepers, and we don't recommend this mattress for larger sleepers really at all. Now, for those small to mid-sized side and back sleepers, you're gonna find that this mattress is pretty comfortable, and like I said, the most comfortable mattress under $1,500 that you will find. Now, you might be sitting there saying, wow, that's awesome. But keep in mind, a lot of natural mattresses at this price point or below just aren't that great in terms of comfort in general. This bed is definitely something that I would say overall, compared to all mattresses, is a comfortable mattress, and you'll sleep pretty dang well. Given the caveats that we've mentioned for larger sleepers and stomach sleepers, we give the Happsy an 8 out of 10 in terms of comfort. And that brings us to value and durability of the bed. Well, we've mentioned it a couple times in this review. This mattress comes in at under $1,500, at least at the time of recording of this review. And that's in a queen, by the way. So that's competing with mattresses like Latex for Less, the Bare Natural, WinkBed's Eco Cloud, and the Birch Luxe. Out of those beds, the Happsy slots right in the middle in terms of price. The truth is, all natural just cost more. If you find a bed that's all natural under $1,000, like not like $999, but I mean like under $1,000, odds are it's going to be really, really lacking in a number of ways. Natural materials are just more expensive, and the manufacturing process is more expensive as well, especially considering these beds need certifications in order to prove that they are all natural, and that drives cost up. Now, for mattresses in the budget all-natural category, which is where we're talking here, this is the most comfortable budget all-natural mattress that we've tried by far. In every other category, it fares just about the same, except in edge support. This bed is one of the worst performing all-natural budget mattresses in terms of edge support that we've reviewed. So there's a big trade-off here. Are you someone who values trading off comfort for your edge support? If it's me, every single day, I do, because I can scoot into a mattress. I can't really make it much more comfortable once I got it in my house. Yeah, there are toppers, but the truth is you may be increasing pressure relief, but you're taking away from support. And these beds have been built with a delicate balance of having enough support for you. So if you add toppers to some of these beds, you might find that in the end, they're more uncomfortable than they were before you did that, just in a totally different way. Now, the quality materials here is an A+. Organic latex lasts much longer than typical mattress materials. For instance, a typical memory foam that you'll find in a mattress at this price point is going to break down in about 5-6 years, and that's going to result in the mattress offering less and less support. Latex, on the other hand, lasts easily for 10 to 15 years before it breaks down. The coils in this mattress, while being softer, aren't really going to break down that much over time either. Typically, a mattress goes bad not because of the coils in it, even if cheaper coils are used, but because of the comfort materials. The real point of contention in this bed is going to be that layer of wool, but thankfully they've kept it pretty dang thin, because if it was a thicker layer of wool, what happens oftentimes is that wool kind of gets matted down, pressed around, and a mattress turns into a lumpy, uncomfortable thing. I can't really see that happening with this mattress, and you should expect a solid 8 to 10 years in terms of comfort life out of this bed before you notice that the mattress isn't as comfortable as it once was. Most people are gonna happily get 10 years of life out of this bed, and that's really all you can ask for at this price point. I know there are beds out there that tote their lifetime warranties and try to almost market it to people as, hey, this bed will last you forever. No bed's gonna last you forever. You're on it more than anything else in your life. And in case you haven't noticed, we're kinda gross. You sweat on it, the heat of your body breaks it down. No mattress lasts forever. They just don't. So expecting 8 to 10 years out of a bed, especially at this price point, is a pretty big win. By the way, on average, people who spend under $1,500 on their mattress replace it in about 5 years. And most mattress companies say that their beds will last you at least 10. Something doesn't add up there, but that's because most mattresses want you to think that it's gonna last you longer than it will, because you're gonna probably buy it then. This one here, it'll last you comfortably 8 to 10. I don't know what Happsy says. They might say that the thing lasts 15, 20 years because that's what a lot of latex brands say. And a true Dunlap latex mattress will last you 15, 20, 25 years. But those things are like $4,500 minimum in a queen, and they're 100% latex. So the whole thing is just latex. By the way, that's what a lot of people quote when they talk about latex. Oh, it lasts 15 to 25 years. It does, but there's other things going on, and anytime you have a layer in a mattress, you take away from that. Even so, this bed is very durable for the price, and the value is definitely there. And because of that, we give value a 9 out of 10. So when you add that all up, we find that the Happsy mattress, for its price, performs pretty dang well overall, scoring right around a B on our Sleepline report card. Now, you may watch other reviews, you may have watched a lot about other mattresses, and found, whoa, that sounds pretty low. Well, yeah, it does, but you'll find most of our reviews are going to sound lower because we're not filled with sponsored bullcrap, and we're not going to tell you a mattress is better than it is, in our opinion. And that's why a B is a pretty good score as far as mattresses go for us. You're not gonna come here and see us average out a mattress at 94 out of 100. That just doesn't dive into the nuance of how these beds perform. So now with that being said, if you are a small or mid-sized side or back sleeper looking for an all-natural option that is pretty dang comfortable, this is going to be a great pick and one of our most recommended budget natural mattresses. So I hope that we've been able to give you a more in-depth understanding, not only of the Happsy, but of mattresses in general. If you have any questions or if you want us to review any specific mattresses, please go ahead, drop a comment below, and we'll see what we can do. Again, thank you for watching this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. We are a small channel, and every single like and subscribe really does make a pretty big difference for us. So if you like these honest and unfiltered reviews, please go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe. And if you are interested in purchasing the Happsy, use our discount code below to get the best deal possible. My name is Ethan. Thank you again for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.